Hello, gods and goddesses. So today, Spirit is really leading me to keep it simple. So I'm going to pull from a couple decks, and this is a reading for everyone. Take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't. If you guys haven't ever been here before, I am SerenaAurora. Welcome to my little corner of the universe. So I thought I would do this away from my desk. I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different today. A little bit calm. I've meditated. I've had my coffee today. It's a beautiful day today. So let's see what comes out for you guys. What does Spirit need you to know? My cat is completely wrapped up in a scarf. I don't know if she can get out. Okay. Oh, man. This is a message for me as well. This is a message for me. I'm uploading a video previously before this, and I've had some big lessons as to don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So, I want you guys to know that when I share my stories, it's only to allow myself to be relatable. If I used spiritual concepts that were very elusive and terminology that you weren't aware of, that you aren't interested in, it probably wouldn't resonate with you as well. Sometimes as readers, we kind of have to come back down to earth after being in the ethers and doing our soul work for a long time. And that's kind of where I'm at with my, I've already done the work and the things that I have to do, and I've integrated what I need in order to move into this next chapter of my life. And this has been coming up for me as well as a lot of people. I do have a lot of clients who are calling about friendships and families, and you know, all of these dynamics are shifting and changing, and people are moving and making new friends and everything. So this is a huge message, not only for me, but it is for you guys. Those moments when people tell you that you can't do something, you aren't enough, those are the moments that you turn around and you go do exactly what you wanted to do, that they said you couldn't do, and you make sure that they know it. So there has been several people in my past who I have a very negative family. And, you know, they let me know that I was too fat and too this and too that, and I wasn't pretty enough, and I'm just big boned. I had friends who literally told me, you know, you wouldn't be able to get a driver's license. You're so dumb. Or that surprised me that you're even doing that. People were surprised I went to college. Those people are always going to come up in your life. There's going to be spiritual teachers who think they know better than where you're at. They know you better than you know yourself. And sometimes readers can read you really well and give you those messages. But those moments where someone tells you that you're not enough, turn around and go do it. If it's someone saying that you'll never be able to afford to travel the world, go travel the world. If it's someone who's saying that you need to be a part of their group or their association or their cult or whatever it is, to be more of something that they offer that you know, perceive that you don't have, do it yourself. Do it yourself. Stop trying to fit in. Okay. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. I think that a lot of us have been able to connect more with the outside, the outdoors, because of all of this free time that we've had. I noticed there are tons of people in my apartment complex who are actually taking the time to walk, to get their kids out, to go walk their dogs, to run. I've seen a ton of that. It hasn't stopped anyone from going to the gym. Nothing. I still see people out and about, and I think that this is a good time to get grounded. I put up a post on my Instagram that was telling you that this is a good time for people's souls to shelter in place, to withstand the storm that is coming, to be really rooted in your spiritual studies, to not give a fuck about what anyone thinks. You can take other people's opinions and you can say, thank you, that's not my truth. Thank you, but your words have no power here. Thank you, I appreciate that. I will meditate on that. But doesn't mean that you have to integrate it into who you are. Get grounded, guys. Get outside. There's a lot of people who are soaking up a lot of emotions. A lot of people are becoming more spiritually awakened. They are seeing the truth. That's all that spiritually awakened means, is seeing the truth. And this makes our body more in tune with spirit, and it makes us more sensitive to these lower densities within this paradigm. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. You're already doing it. I think we doubt ourselves when we hear other people's opinions. And I think we doubt ourselves when we watch people with their motivational things on Instagram. I know I doubt myself sometimes when I see people being like really stringent with their routine, getting up at 5 a.m. and getting all of these things done, when I, sleep in and get everything done and I'm a night owl. You have to run to the beat of your own drum, and it is very important that you stay true to your north. Like I said, take the advice that maybe God sends through these messengers in public, in readings, in friendships and family members. But if it doesn't resonate with you, do not feel guilty to get rid of it. You're already doing what you're meant to be doing. There is no other moment besides the now. Divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms, council of light. So this, I always talk about spirit being more helpful on the other side than humans are. I find that I have more protection in the ethers than I could ever have in the human realm. We don't know what's happening every day when we leave the house to anyone. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're at. Really crazy things are happening, and asking for help, asking for guidance, asking for the patience, the tolerance, the courage, the sanity to deal with the chaos around you, to remove people from your life that are no longer good for you. Remove people from your life that have ulterior motives. Remove people for you that don't truly care about where you're going. They don't care if you grow. They don't care if you're happy. They care if you're different, and outside of the group. Don't give a fuck. You have to, I know that's like probably the most unspiritual thing to say, but I find that this toxic purity ascended type culture within the spiritual community is unhealthy. So ask for help, pray about it. I know that some of my clients have been kind of burned by the church, and I want you, this is also spirit coming through. They want you to reconnect in your own way. You're going to commune with God in your own way. It's going to be different and separate from everyone else. And enjoy that communion. We take a lot of time to get to know our friends, our family, and the people in our lives, but we very rarely get to know God, the father and the mother of the cosmos and the ethers. Everything that is came from them. The dark, the light, star seeds, us, animals, everything that's beneath our feet. I think we really need to get grounded in the awe of what it has to offer. And this says, just say yes. I don't know if you can see that. Just say yes. Say yes to your true north, and say yes to being unique, and say yes to being different, and say yes to taking risks, and say yes to doing something out of the ordinary. Say yes to being different from your friends. Say yes to being different from any trauma or generational pain that you're carrying from you. Say yes to God. Let me pull from this deck now. I'm sorry for those who love seeing me shuffle, who can't see the shuffling. I just thought of that. I'm so sorry. All right. Big card to talk about, consciousness. Without using all these spiritual terms and all of these, big words that some people like to use to make it seem unattainable and scary. And I know I've seen quite a few people who have been really scared about all of this new information that everyone is putting out on social media and things about making it to the new earth. And there are some people who are actually genuinely freaked out that they aren't doing good enough. And consciousness is a state of being. It's a space. And within consciousness, there are layers. And sometimes we have to bust through those layers in order to seek the truth. Consciousness is truth. We have lenses that we view through. And we've been distracted by this world very heavily. The powers that be, that weird, elusive term, the elite, the people who control the world, the people who control the ethers. There's a divine plan in everything, but there are people out there who don't have our best interests in mind, just like regular people in our lives. And the systems that may have been set up are just meant to distract us, to keep us from our truth. So without sounding all conspiracy theory, these ways of thinking and these perspectives have to be worked through in order to get to where you need to be. Each person's journey is individual to them. My cat is just literally watching me. You are adorable. Each person's journey is unique. And it's that term that I always, use, and it was with someone that I was speaking with about consciousness and ascension and all of these things. And it was someone I worked with when the Golden Temple was open. And he said, you really can't judge. Nobody can judge. Nobody can, the heroin addict could have come here to reach enlightenment for that. We have to experience every aspect of what humanness is, because that's what Source craves. And so with that putting into perspective, you know, that made me really think, holy shit, everyone has a different way of doing things. And there are people within the spiritual community that will, I don't know, throw you in the water, so to speak, and just expect you to swim. You feel okay with starting where you're at. Everything happens at the right time, and everything that is meant for you will not pass you by. Okay. Projections. So I have a lot of those experiences. I tend to be a very spiritual mirror for people. When I was in the dating world, I was a very spiritual person as well, and that was a mirror for people to get closer and more in tune with their soul. And this is just about triggering people. Pay attention to where you get really heated. Pay attention to where you feel intruded upon. Pay attention to where you feel defensive. And ask yourself in those moments, why am I getting defensive? Does it have anything to do with this person? Or am I holding on to something that needs to let go of? Or, which it can be, some people do not know what they're talking about, and they are projecting their own lack onto you. I had this happen to me within the past day, 24 hours, 48 hours, of someone who I would not have expected to be a mirror for. They warned me that you better watch out. We're reflectors, we're mirrors, and you're going to get your ego triggered. It happened the opposite. And I thought that in my head, but I didn't want to sound arrogant to those people and be like, well, I'm usually the trigger. My honesty is something I value. And so when it comes out, a lot of people get triggered. I've been lied to a lot, so I value and pride honesty. So be careful. It isn't always you. Don't always go, what is wrong with me? Oh my God, overanalyze it and get stuck in these moments. Think about the other person for a second. I want you to be conscious and aware of what you're saying and listening to the other person. Because not everyone's right. No matter how much they've studied, not everyone knows everything about you. So I want to go back just for 1 second. That person who I was triggering, who was telling me that I was being triggered and that I wasn't enough in their lens of perception. I want you guys to remember that this taught me that I can't go back into the spiritual community, and that I got to do my own thing, as well as I just lost my train of thought. I can't go back into the spiritual community, and what was the other thing? Wow. Woo, it'll come back to me. Next card is receptivity. Being receptive has a lot to do with those conversations that you have with those people who might try to dim your light, who might try to shake you up, who might think that they're right. And in their own mind, maybe they are. Sure. Good. Again, don't fight with those people. Be conscious of what you have going on. Be receptive to Spirit's messages, all of those counsel, that counsel card that came out. Be receptive to people and read them. Read their body language. Decipher if they are meant for you or not. The food that you eat. Tune into your body and see if it actually, is good for you. Your environment, where you live. Everything. Be receptive to everything around you and see if it aligns with who you are. The more you're receptive, the better you can pick up on what flavor you like. Breakthrough, yes. So the breakthrough here, for me, as well as you, is when you don't dim your light Every time that you have to stand up for yourself and stand your ground when you know that you're standing in your truth. And when we come to this knowing, we speak with compassion and we speak with calmness. We don't yell, we don't scream, we don't cuss, we don't hit people, whatever else. When we know our truth, we come to a point where we're not shaken and we go, you know what? Good for you. Okay, sure. I'll meditate on that. Cool. That's beautiful, but that's not my truth. Your words have no power here. It's as simple as that. That's when you're going to make these breakthroughs. This is the breakthrough that you're meant to be making right now, is to do what you want to do without the consent, the compliments, the pat on the back from anyone. It has to do with you, and you have to align with that. Oh, aloneness. There's a lot of times in life where we might end up feeling alone. And it's not because we are lonely. There's a lot of times that I've been in my life where I've been alone and I have loved it. And I was actually kind of disappointed when I started to get pursued by people. It was wonderful. It's even wonderful when me and my wife take our own separate trips places. It's beautiful. We all get our me time. But again, you're going to feel alone at first because you are aligning to the energy that suits this journey, this chapter in your life, so that you can bring in a tribe that is more aligned with who you are at that time. We all change, we all evolve, we all grow. No one's going to stay in anything for very long. Nothing lasts forever. And beyond the illusion. The illusion is that you're going to be, that you need to fit into a pack, that you can't live outside your culture, that you can't live outside your state, that you can't live outside of the spiritual community. I've been in it for 7 years and I'm just now realizing I cannot go back in. I don't know what I'm going to do besides this. I am an artist as well, so I might do more of that. But this goes for anything in your life. There is an illusion that people project upon you, that you're not rich enough, that you're not beautiful enough, that you aren't ascended enough, that you are too attached to things, that you don't do something enough, that you weigh too much. There's even some people who think that you don't have nice enough clothes and nice enough cars and all of these things. Again, those trigger moments where people make you feel like you're not enough is the moment that you shine brighter. So whatever they tell you that you don't do, shine brighter. If they tell you to be quiet, find a way to use your voice for the benefit of everyone in a attractive, professional, successful, healthy way. I've had bosses. I remember this one boss when I worked at Lowe's for 3 years, and she told me that I would never travel the world, and then I would never travel anywhere, and then I would be in Missouri forever because I lived in Missouri as well. And as simple as that is, anyone can travel. But the fact that she had the audacity to say that you will never, it's not possible, Serena, it's not possible for you. And now I have traveled the United States and picked up and left many, many times. If I had listened to her, I probably would still be in Missouri with a whole life that I was absolutely unhappy with. I would be bitter and, whatever. So remember, those illusions that people project on you, they are not set in stone. They are not your truth. living beyond your means and keeping up with appearances is something that I know that a lot of people are having a hard time with. We used to be able to post all of our happy moments and, you know, all of these things, and we kind of got a high off of it. And now our dopamine levels are hitting the floor. But this is the time for you to invest in yourself and your dreams and the things that you want to do that don't necessarily need to be recorded or filmed or shared with anyone. They're sacred to you. Right, the other card is past lives. So the thing that comes up with Spirit is that they want me to let you know a little bit of spiritual knowledge on past lives. Past lives can also be viewed as parallel lives, depending on what perception you decide to view your spirituality through, and your wisdom and your knowledge. It's my belief that they are all parallel, and that all of our lives are all happening at once. And that there is this big bang, this grand finale when everything does come back together. Our past lives, if we do not release them and release these, the pain, which some people say that there is no pain. That's not really I think that we're meant to experience pain and emotions. That's the reason why we come to this planet. And love. Well, love is an emotion. So anyways, those moments when I was doing Reiki on people, there's a moment in the healing process where you do a symbol and you ask that all karma be released, past, present, and future. Now, they get released in whatever way that person needs once they leave your office. They don't just wipe clean. It just means bring it to the surface. Let's keep bringing those layers to the surface. Let's bring and activate. That's another thing Spirit's telling me, is that this is something I did recently, and it's been shifting my life and rearranging it in ways that I never thought possible. But I activate all spiritual gifts, all skills, abilities, talents in this lifetime, past, present, future. If you want to use that terminology, you can say, I activate all skills, abilities, talents, and gifts that I have ever had in all lives. That brings it to the now. That is possible to do that. There's lots of past life work that we can do. We can get rid of vows of poverty. We have blocks on friendships. We have blocks, like I said, on money, on gifts, on family and friends, all of those things. It can even be food. It can be learning how to survive in the world. There's all kinds of things that we come into this world to try to figure out. But I want you to remember that in a sense, it is, it's all going to happen when it needs to happen. So those people who have spoke with me and who are extremely stressed out about not making it to the new world, I want you to know that you will become ripe at the right moment, and nothing that's meant for you will pass you by. I don't know how many times I tell my clients that. Any of those moments that those people come to you who object to where you are in your life, nothing that isn't meant for you will not pass you by. So that at that moment, this is a wake-up call for you guys to not dim your light, to let go of the illusion of these vows of poverty, to release it. I no longer take the oath of karma. I no longer take these oaths of poverty. I clear all limiting beliefs and pain from all past lives. I now activate all my abilities, skills, talents, and gifts so that I can become more successful in this life. The more I grow and evolve, the healthier I become, and the more people I can help. You deserve a quality of life. All right, one more card. Existence. These cards are getting a little bit woo-woo. The existence of everything, whether it's aliens and planets and black holes and stars and Earth and all of these, the way that our structure is made here on Earth, we all need to have that spiritual balance of Earth and heaven. That is what's going to bring you into balance. In anything you do, as silly as it is, as much as the metaphysical world wants to sell you crystals and incense and chakra stuff and all of these magical candles and all of these things, it's always, no matter where you go, it is about balance. The whole point of growth is to be able to come back in and out of things. The term that I learned that from was when I was going to eat prasad and do chanting within the Hindu temple, and what they called that was just the path of Maya. And we'll always come back in and out, because each time we go from here, we learn something new, and we learn everything in between. So what the goal of all of this spiritual stuff is to become a balanced individual. So the terminology that I like to use is the Empress in the tarot and the High Priestess in the tarot for any of the goddesses, and it's the Hierophant, the Emperor for any males. You guys know, if you've been to any of my classes, I teach that the Kabbalah and the Hebrew teachings and all of these things is where I'm rooted now within the tarot. So every aspect of that comes into the tarot. So we are everything within every tarot card. But for this purpose, I'm going to use an example. The Empress is the earthly mother. The High Priestess is the heavenly mother. She knows all secrets, all wisdom. She knows when to speak and she knows when not to speak. The earthly woman is someone who can enjoy the pleasures of this planet. We want to be right in the middle, whether it's the masculine or the feminine. We want to be in the middle. We want to be in the now. You cannot manifest anything from the past. If you're living in the past, you're living in pain. If you're living in the future, you are going to be stressed. The only time I can pick up this card is in the now. And that goes with anything. So the moment is now for you to stop giving your power away to people above you, to stop, to some of the people that I've met recently, to stop joining cults and groups and giving your power away to the leader, to someone who has power over you. You need to learn to develop your own uniqueness, your own gifts, your own talents, your own skills through repetition and practice. And the only way you're going to do that is by taking action. So those are the messages that I have for everyone today from Spirit. I hope that it resonated. It was beautiful that I could be a part of this with you. And to all of my clients who have made it through this video, it's been an honor to have you share your lives with me. It really has. I will be in the spiritual community for, I would say, probably maybe a couple more years, so you don't have to worry too much, but I'm definitely going to be doing more of my own things. So I'm excited to start these new projects that I have in mind, and I hope that you guys will still be a part of it. So be brave.